How can we classify credit risk? What are the different some types of credit risk or categories of credit risk? Broadly speaking, the credit risk can be categorized using two criteria. One is the level of monitoring and the second is the type of the risk that you are looking at. Based on the level at which you are monitoring the credit risk, it can be segregated into two further types. There is an individual or firm level credit risk and there is a portfolio or aggregate level credit risk. Individual or firm level credit risk means credit risk involved by lending to a particular individual or to a particular business. The example of an aggregate or portfolio credit risk could be home loan portfolio or let's say vehicle loan portfolio, where you are looking at the credit risk involved in a particular portfolio. The portfolio could be classified in some other way. For example, the portfolio of lending in let's say western part of India. There are different ways of classifying the portfolio as well. Depending on the perspective from which you are analyzing, you can look at credit risk as default risk or you can look at it as a migration risk. Default risk, as credit risk is classically known, is the risk of the borrower defaulting either on repayment or on payment of interest, in which case it's called a default risk. Now, what is a migration risk? Migration risk is the risk involved in the migration of the entire portfolio to a different level of credit risk. For example, in case of economic crisis, let's say your portfolio is at a risk level of X and it deteriorates and goes down to the risk level of Y. That is called the migration of the credit risk. Typically, migration of the credit risk is also tracked at the portfolio level. So these are the two broad categories in which we can look at the credit risk. Subsequently, we'll get into more details of each of these risks. If you have liked this video, please do share as well as subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much and cheers.